24th of July, which is barely a fortnight away, Africa's second longest bridge, the Third Mainland Bridge, will be partially shut down for a period of 6 months. The closure of this bridge that hangs prestigiously over the Lagos Lagoon strikes a balance with the investigative maintenance carried out in August 2018, the last time the bridge was shut down for 4 days. The imperativeness of the 11.800-kilometer arch that links the mainland with the island of Lagos is duly acknowledged by the federal government, and consequently, the ministry released a broad advisory that highlights the various alternative routes for road users. With all systems seemingly in place, what are the extra steps needed to forestall a chaotic traffic situation? How would the different phases and points of diversion affect the social-economic landscape of the state? These and many more are among issues for dialogue on Panorama today, coming to you from the Lagos Network Center. I am Dotun Ogunyemi. Welcome. We begin this bulletin with a breaking news from the Supreme Court, which has declared that the virtual seating procedure is constitutional and struck out the suit filed by Lagos and Ekiti state governments challenging the validity and constitutionality of such court sittings. And to the legislature now, where a legislation towards establishing a fund for sustainable financing of Nigeria's agricultural sector and ensuring food security is in progress in the Senate. The bill for the establishment of the National Agricultural Development Fund and National Food Reserve Agency has been presented to members of the public, who described it as well-timed. National Assembly correspondent Ignatius Nkwo reports.
It was another opportunity for the public to take part in bill process in the National Assembly.
This committee has been diligent in preparing for this public hearing. It is not only because they have 3 bills before them, but because the issues are a priority in the diversification of our economy.
Stakeholders in Nigeria's agricultural sector made their inputs on the 2 bills, with the Minister of Agriculture leading the pack.
Very important for the growth, development and promotion of agriculture. The National Food Reserve Agency bill is particularly significant at this time.
The Agricultural Development Fund, we have seen the draft bill we have gone through, and we are fully, Central Bank is fully in support.
Office of the Accountant General of the Federation, like others, supported the bills, but differed on the proposed sources of the funds, while the Federal Inland Revenue Services opposed the Development Fund bill.
If you situate the funding of these agencies, or of these bills, in these funding sources, we may encounter problems.
It will be more efficient to appropriate funds through the budgetary process than setting up multiple agencies.
And we support 100% the evolution of the National Agricultural Development Fund, because it is a sine qua non for R&D and food security.
Us understand the enormity of the problem of financing agriculture in Nigeria. There is no going back on the issue of funds. We will fight. Those of you who think we don't need it can go on fighting. We will fight that Nigeria needs it.
The bills have passed second reading in the Senate. From the National Assembly, Ignatius Nkwo, NTA News.
And the 3 days warning strike embarked upon by members of the Medical Guild in Lagos State is already having its toll on patients. Hinginu John Adams, who visited the Lagos State University Teaching Hospital, tells us more.
Lagos State University Teaching Hospital, known to be very busy with patients and workers trooping in and out, is almost becoming a shadow of itself.
I have been to that ward now. No patients and no patients. And some of the patients that are there, most of them are crying. They say, doctor, please see them. I
noticed everyone was kind of dried, less these activities going on currently.
They should also consider humans in this pandemic period. They should also consider saving life and not just money.
This situation has now left many patients to their fate. The doctors are using the warning strike to compel the Lagos State government to meet up 70% of its demands, including the unresolved wage disparity between the federal and Lagos State doctors.
Because of the seriousness of the situation, the association took a decision to have a warning strike instead of an indefinite action, with a plan that we could get back to the table and continue the negotiation. Yesterday, which was Sunday, a meeting held between top government officials of Lagos State, and there was also an intervention by the First Lady of the state and even Mr. Governor. And then our hope is that as we move forward, we can quickly resolve this. We are hoping to get the resolutions that were agreed on, communicated, and then we move on from there.
Doctors manning the various COVID-19 isolation centers are, however, exempted from the strike. In Lagos, Hingino John Adams, NTA News.
In the next 10 days, the Third Mainland Bridge will be partially closed to traffic for repairs. It is an inevitable plan that has left many confused and others already taking decisions that might affect their businesses and livelihood. Michael Olaleye reports.
The 11.8-kilometer Third Mainland Bridge is not just an architectural design over waters, but provides intercity connectivity and easy accessibility to various parts of the states. With Lagosians already facing an endless battle with traffic, even with the existence of this bridge, one can only imagine what the situation would look like as from the 24th of this month, when the bridge will be closed for repairs.
We're already experiencing a lot of traffic presently on the Kovat Bridge. So the closure of Third Mainland Bridge is now going to add to it. That means at the end you'll be spending close to 7-8 hours. You won't be getting home till like 1 a.m. So it's not really helpful at all.
So that will even cause the COVID-19 to have more effect, because people will be clustered in the traffic, sleep in the vehicle, exchange breath and all that. So I don't think this is the best time. They would have done it during the lockdown.
It's okay, it's good. But the other route, for me, I think it's okay if they closure, but other routes should be made motorable. Like the Costain is hell. If going through Apapa, coming to Island, hell. What other route again do you have? Again, except maybe Ekpe.
As the ticking of the clock brings nearer this inevitable plan, how to navigate the ever-busy Lagos roads from the mainland to the island during this shutdown is already a source of concern to residents.
Well, what I intend doing, due to the closure, I won't be coming with my car because I can't be able to face the traffic, or I will find another means, or I stay within the island.
That would make me want to consider not coming to the island to run my business. Probably I'll have to, for the meantime, start considering running only in the mainland. Do you understand? So because it means coming to the island would mean me spending a lot of fuel, and at the end might not get what I'm actually, my profit. I might not make my profit because of the traffic.
Regardless of the challenges Lagosians are likely to face as a result of the closure, the Federal Ministry of Works and Housing has always emphasized on the need to put safety first in order to forestall the scenario that led to the Genoa Bridge collapse in Italy. In Lagos, Michael Olaleye, NTA News.
To converse on some of the issues raised in that report is the National Chairman, Nigerian Institution of Highway and Transportation Engineers, Engineer Oludayo Oluyemi. He joins us via Zoom. Many thanks for joining us on the program.
Thank you, Doctor.
Now, educate us more on why the partial closure of the Third Mainland Bridge should span 6 months.
Well, the Third Mainland Bridge has been built for over a decade, and we have not been doing the necessary periodic and routine maintenance on the bridge. The last time the bridge was closed to users, the federal government commissioned some engineers to do some testing to see the extent of damages on the bridge. And right now, they want to do the maintenance of the entire bridge, which is a welcome decision on the because it is something that we should be doing on a regular basis, which hitherto were not being done. So that's the reason why it has to be closed, because they have a lot of work to do.
And you must have assessed the temporary roadmap for motorists given the dense nature of traffic in Lagos. What scenarios do you predict?
Well, I will first of all advise a lot of the people working in Victoria Island and Lagos Island who live on the mainland to do away with their private vehicles and make use of the public and commercial buses so that the number of vehicles that we'll have going to Lagos Island will reduce. The other thing is that a lot of us should use Eco Bridge and use Carter Bridge to access Lagos Island. And we can also use Ikorodu Road and go through Ebutimeta through Adekunle bus stop to get to Obalende. So those are the things we need to do. And also, we should be mindful of the fact that the Federal Ministry of Works has indicated that a lane will be provided for road users on that same Third Mainland Bridge. So with this, I think we wouldn't have much problems at all.
Now, what is the expectation from the people plying that route, especially on a daily basis? You talked about the commercial bus transporters and the likes.
Well, people should expect heavy traffic and delay for when they are going to Lagos Island. And I will advise workers who can get accommodation within Lagos Island to get that, so that they won't be getting to office late. And I will also advise the Nigerian police and the Federal Road Safety Corps to be on standby to control the traffic. Definitely, it's not going to be easy, but we don't have a choice.
I want you to also give an assessment of some of the alternative routes provided. Some Lagosians have raised concerns on the motorability of those roads.
Well, the Eco Bridge is good. The only problem we have on the Eco Bridge is that the portion, the flyover at Costain cannot be used. But if you drive to Costain, you can climb the bridge and get to Lagos Island. And nothing is wrong with going on Muritala Mohammed Way and joining the Carter Bridge to access Lagos Island.
And now, what should be the role of regulatory and traffic management agencies like the Federal Road Safety Corps in the coming months?
Well, the Federal Road Safety Corps, the LASTMA, and the Nigerian police should be ready to work for 24 hours. And they should make arrangements for their men to be on all these routes to avoid calamity.
And before I let you go, with the partial closure, concerns is heavy about the state's economy getting the short end of the stick. Is this apprehension justifiable?
That is not justifiable, please. Mind you, a lot of people are not even going to Lagos Island in recent times because of the COVID-19 pandemic. A lot of people are not going to the office as we were going before. So personally, I don't see anything, any negative impact is going to have on our economy.
I thank you so much, Engineer Oludayo Oluyemi, National Chairman, Nigerian Institution of Highway and Transportation Engineers, for your time.
You're welcome.
You're watching Panorama, coming to you from the Lagos Network Center. Time now for a break. The news will be back shortly.
The virus, also known as COVID-19, has been declared by the World Health Organization as a global pandemic. While clinical trials are ongoing for a vaccine and a possible cure, there is no known treatment for the coronavirus. Nigeria has recorded some of these cases, and people are advised to take these preventive measures to keep themselves safe and contain the further spread of the virus. Wash your hands frequently with soap and water, or use hand sanitizers all the time. Maintain social distancing. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Practice respiratory hygiene. If you have fever, cough, and difficulty breathing, seek medical care early. Do not panic. Stop the spread of unconfirmed news. Follow the official government news outlets and report all cases immediately. This message is brought to you by the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, Africa's largest television network.
Glad to have you back. The latest research findings about the novel coronavirus by the World Health Organization indicates that the disease can be airborne in addition to transmission through droplets. This latest discovery was communicated by the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19 at Monday's briefing in Abuja. Mitairi Ikben reports.
Before now, the World Health Organization indicated that droplets expelled from a person infected with COVID-19 quickly fall to the ground or surfaces and are not airborne. However, a new research is indicating that COVID-19 can be airborne.
Over the past few weeks, increasing evidence has emerged that in addition to droplet infection, we cannot rule out that airborne transmission is also possible as a mode of transmission of COVID-19. It means that staying together in closed spaces, in clusters, such as in restaurants or a small room with very poor ventilation, increases the risk of transmission.
Halfway into its 6-month timeline to coordinate one national response to the coronavirus pandemic, the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19 is instituting tougher measures to curb community transmission.
All government offices shall continue to hold virtual meetings in their offices, especially where participants exceed 4 persons, and all unnecessary travels for meetings by government officials should be suspended.
The Minister of State for Education gave further clarification on the decision of the federal government not to conduct WAEC examinations.
It is authorized WAEC to impose those dates, and that we will be engaging WAEC to reconsider dates.
We're very glad that all airports in Nigeria currently are compliant with the protocols, so they are safe to operate in and out.
When will the train services resume? So this will be determined by the Federal Ministry of Transport.
The PTF is insisting on compulsory wearing of face masks in public places, observance of physical distancing, and ban on mass gatherings beyond 20 persons. In Abuja, Mitairi Ikben, NTA News.
And still on COVID-19, Nigeria has recorded 595 new cases of COVID-19. The breakdown shows that Lagos has 156, Oyo 141, FCT 99, Edo 46, Kaduna 27, Ondo 22, Rivers 20, Osun 17, Imo 13, Plateau 10, Nasarawa 8, Anambra 8, while Kanu, Benue and Borno have 5 cases each. Ogun has 4, Taraba 3, Gombe 3, Kebbi and Cross River State have 1 case each. The total number of confirmed cases of COVID-19 in the country as at 13th July 2020 rose to 33,153. 13,671 patients have so far been discharged, while 744 deaths have been recorded. And away from COVID-19 now, let's talk security, where the Chief of the Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tuko Buratai, has approved new postings and appointments of 37 generals and 5 colonels to different formations and units in an effort to rekindle the spirit of professionalism in the Nigerian Army. A statement by the Acting Director, Army Public Relations, Colonel Sagir Musa, notes that the posting is a routine exercise intended to reinvigorate the system for greater professionalism, professional effectiveness and efficiency. And still talking security, operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, FCT Command, on stop-and-search duty has intercepted bagloads of Naira notes at the interstate checkpoint at Abuja boundary between Kogi State and the FCT. Commander NDLEA FCT Alhaji Amisu Lawal handed over the suspects and the exhibits to the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission at the agency's command in Abuja. Ilyasu Onotu Yakubu reports.
Carefully concealed in 3 Ghana must-go bags, the money mints were in 20 and 100 naira denominations amounting to 5.2 million naira. Commandant NDLEA FCT Hamisu Lawal said operatives of the command intercepted the suspected bags initially thinking they were bales of Indian hemp.
We not really give good account of the ownership and source of the money, and that arose further suspicion, more so in view of a number of dynamics of crime taking place now, the issue of ransom payment and what have you. We were so conscious that we really need to get to the root of the matter.
Ibrahim Umoru is the transporter. He explained that he was only paid to build the consignment from Gwagwalada in the FCT to Onitsha in Anambra State. Agbo Jehu Erochukwu is the alleged owner of the money. The suspects and the money were handed over to the representative of the EFCC for further investigation. Ilyasu Onotu Yakubu, NTA News.
We do sincerely apologize for the poor audio in some parts of that report. And moving on now to sports, International Basketball Federation lifts suspension on competitions. Olumide Eguntola is our guide.
Following reports of the last meeting of the FIBA Medical Advisory Group, MAG, the International Basketball Federation, FIBA, has lifted the suspension on all its competitions. FIBA will make available the collected national restart protocols to its members and will continue to provide advice through the FIBA Medical Commission, monitor the COVID-19 situation, and communicate further updates on FIBA competitions regularly. From the English Premier League, Manchester City will now play in the Champions League next season after the Court of Arbitration for Sport, CAS, overturned the club's 2-year ban from European football. City were handed the suspension by UEFA's Club Financial Control Body in February for serious breaches of club licensing and financial fair play regulations. In the